Hi, I'm Christophe Langlois, and you're on Visible Banking. Today I'd like to talk about the latest initiative in the social media space launched by Caja Navarra in Spain, one of the most transparent banks in the world. So this is how it looks like. It's a game. It's on Twitter. One of the objectives is to increase the audience and the visibility of the bank on social media channels. First of all, it makes me smile, and in a good way, that I see now loads of financial institutions, more and more, all over the world, to try to grow their audiences, their communities on sites like Twitter or Facebook, using different types of mechanisms, contests being one of them and one of the most successful ones. But again, there's potential challenges to overcome afterwards. One of the main challenges being the quality of those communities built on and with that specific mechanism, games, contests. That was like a year and a half ago when everybody said, well, Ubank, so the direct bank from NAB in Australia, they want to grow their size of followers on Twitter and they're offering USB keys to do so. How awful, how cheap, it's just an easy way to do it, but it worked. It worked very well, and it helped the bank strengthen the brand perception and the position as fresh, innovative. So that was a success. I covered that on Visible Banking in May last year, so I invite you to have a look. Yeah, you see other institutions doing and trying various ways again to increase their communities. This is on Facebook. This is BNP Paribas, the bank in France, one of the largest banks in the world. They did a great job growing, so launching their Facebook page and growing the size of their community or group there to up to 120,000 fans. Now it's around 117,000 fans. How did they do that? They used a competition. They gave away cinema tickets. That's a way to do it, and the bank is famous for its sponsoring cinema and tennis. One of the challenges is you build those communities or groups. What are you going to do with them? Are they relevant to your brand? Chase did great as well. They're not very present on social media channels and communities, but they do something extremely good and well executed called Chase Community Giving once a year. The second edition happened a few months ago. Basically, they give the opportunity to people to vote for their favorite charities. And depending on that and the ranking, they will allocate $5 million to those charities, the top 200. Okay? So great thing, great coverage on Twitter, very well executed, but what's the impact on the brand? Yeah? And what about those 2.5 million fans, which is massive? How relevant are they to the brand? Trupanion, a provider of pet insurance in the US, they do a great job leveraging blogging, Facebook, and Twitter with contests, especially Facebook. So I invite you to have a look. We could talk about it for hours. Great example. And in terms of leveraging Twitter and using trivia questions, Mastercard have done a good job on a regular basis. They involve their followers and they ask them to respond to a few questions. So this is another interesting example. So Caja Navarra in Spain, very transparent. This is the homepage today with the 28th of September. You see big exposure to the Twitter contest. So very exciting. There's a post in English, which is good. I'll tell you what it looks like basically. It's been launched roughly on around the 24th of September, and now it's open for registration. People can register themselves, and I'll show you how to do that. There's 4 key phases to the game. First one, from the 4th to the 8th, and then you see all the dates there. And basically, only the top contestants, participants, will be qualified for the next step. So you see that there, the final being on the 21st and the 22nd of October with only 10 participants. And you can win the usual, actually, an iPad, iPhone, and money, and Kindle. I mean, it's innovative, it's nice. This is the page of the contest. You see there's Twitter integrated there, and you see the prizes. It's in Spanish. They did a great job, actually, with the sharing feature on Twitter, I believe. Look at that at the bottom of the screen. You see the format of the tweet. I think it's very sharp. There's still 8 characters. You can potentially retweet it. So I think that's very clever. very good optimization of syntax on Twitter. Most of the websites, have a very standardized, very blunt message, impossible to retweet, and very difficult to get picked or be visible on Twitter. So this is a very good example. I'd like to notice as well that they're using an hashtag, so it's a great way to keep track of conversations about the contest. And I checked today, and you see there's loads already of conversations online on Twitter. See those, and they're all related to that specific contest from Caja Navarra. Again, it's very clever. How do you join? This is it. You go on the page, you click on join, or iniciar sesión, my best Spanish accent. Basically, they ask you, there's an application. So they ask you to connect to your Twitter account, you see there. And when you've done that, so you have to fill a few details, mainly your name, your email address, and your telephone and your URL. Okay. When you've done that again, you need to follow them on Twitter because the contest will rely on DM, direct messages. So both of you need to be in touch. And you see here, I've done that. So I appear there, visible banking, Christophe Langlois. So now I'm registered. It doesn't take long, probably 5 minutes to do that. Yeah. You see here, again, 28th of September, a few days just after the launch, already 450 participantes, so participants, and it's growing by the minute, I'm tempted to say, but I guess now it's almost already around the 500 mark, so it's quite a good acquisition process there. You see 450. They've got, of course, guidelines, or they explain the contest, so it's on their website. So I'll let you have a look. There's 8 points, basically, talking about the competition. Social media, of course, it's about Twitter, which is great to see so much exposure and visibility on their own assets, their own homepage and website, but you need to distribute the content, you need to be present on other social media channels. Facebook being one of them, and they didn't waste time, they created a specific tab to promote the initiative. So it's very clever, and that's the first thing you see when you reach the page. Again, call to action, you click here, it goes back to the landing page dedicated to the contest on their website. There's not much use of Facebook for the time being, but I hope it will come in the next few weeks. On Twitter, yes, they've started to promote the contest. You see here, they've got 2 main Twitter accounts. One is Caja Navarra, the main one, and you see here a tweet and a link to the, again, contest on their website. And another one called Caja 24. That wasn't very Spanish, sorry about that. Basically here, it's a Twitter account dedicated to customer support. So you see there, and they also mentioned it. That's quite subtle for the time being, but I really hope they'll use Twitter to do that and to promote it. So are they very innovative? I believe, and they claim to be the first one in Spain to do so. I like the fact that they're trying to find new ways to better engage with people and to urge them to follow them. Of course, if you use DM, direct messages, you need to follow the account, so it's a good way to do that. Few challenges: can you keep those people after the contest? Will they carry on following you? Yes, no. How can you really engage with them? How many of those 450 participants are employees? Of course, those are factors you need to take into account. They're not the first one to cleverly leverage Twitter, as I said. Chase did well this year with their Chase Community Giving initiative. It's just a screenshot I made today, but just a couple of months ago, during the contest, you would see like loads and loads of tweets. Every minute almost at some point you had tweets. The idea was to promote your favorite charity, so people can relate to that. Another thing I'd like to see from Caja Navarra on their Facebook page is like Barclays, which launched a game for anybody, but basically the idea is to educate people about money. It's probably more graduates, students, and young professionals, called 56 Sage Street. And they've got a ranking tab on the application's page, and you see that's interesting. That's on Facebook, and ideally I'd be able to share it, to like it. So we haven't reached that stage, but it's still interesting to better use Facebook to support another initiative outside Facebook. Okay. So that was Christophe Langlois. What we do, and we're very enthusiastic about at Visible Banking, is that we benchmark social media all over the world in finance, banking, financial services, insurance. You know what we do. We track more than 2,000 and I believe now close to 400 initiatives in 65 countries. We would be very pleased to help you to better understand and leverage social media in a very pragmatic and unbiased way. So it's Christophe Langlois on Visible Banking in London, UK.